Welcome to another episode of Regional Italian Cuisine. Of course, my name is Caterina Borsato, and on this program, we're going to be welcoming back one of my dear friends, Eitan Doron, who, of course, hails from Israel, but of course, there's so many influences in Israeli food that, of course, comes from the Mediterranean. So I guess there's a real synergy or a real relationship with some of his food and the food especially of southern Italy. Now, they take their influences, of course, from the Middle East, and also, as I said, from the Mediterranean. And a lot of that goes with what they could grow. So there has to be sort of a similarity in growing conditions for the food, be it vegetables or fruits. And it's a really interesting story. Of course, the State of Israel, which was formed in 1948, has moved a long way. And I guess into the 1970s where that real, fusion food came along. But this program, of course, is about the recipes that we grew up with, but with a little bit of funkville, and bring it into the 21st century. Anyway, let's go meet Eitan. A lot of viewers, let's welcome Eitan back to the show. Thank you for joining us. It's a real pleasure for me. Now, of course, your food has been shaped by so many different cultures, is that right?
Yeah.
So you've got influences.
Israel is a mix of cultures. It's after World War II, Moroccan, Polish, Romanian, Russians, Italians, French, all.
They left something.
Left Europe, and also those people that look for the Jewish land, state.
Yes.
They end up in Israel.
Yes.
And Israel is just a mix of culture, lots of different flavors, and
lots of street food, which is exciting.
Amazing street food.
Absolutely. Now, of course, some of the recipes you're going to be showcasing today. Now, are these recipes that are particular to you growing up, or are they the things that people in Israel eat?
It's everywhere. It's just I lean over my childhood memories when I cook. And get a lot of inspiration, not just from just the produce and chefs and what's around. Also, my childhood memories. It's a huge influence on me.
Well, with the first recipe, of course, we're going to be using Filo pastry, and of course, Filo pastry is actually a Turkish invention, and I know that there's some influences there as well. So for our viewers at home, Filo pastry is basically it's quite a difficult art to do at home because it's a lot of rolling and stretching. And I guess the thing with Filo pastry, which differentiates it from puff pastry, is that you make the thin layers and then they're laid one on top of the other, whereas with puff, you are actually folding it. But Filo pastry is a really big thing with Jewish food, is that not?
It is,
And of course, the other thing that you've chosen to do a savoury filling using pumpkin and feta. So let's go into the kitchen and see how he's going to do this, then we'll come back and have another chat.
So today I'm going to show you my Filo pastry recipe. Rather to go through all the process of making your own Filo pastry, I just suggest you to go to your local gourmet delicatessen or the local supermarket and just get the Filo pastry from there. So my filling for this recipe will be roast pumpkin and feta cheese. And I'm going to show you also the technique of how I roast my pumpkin. Now when my Filo pastry is resting, I'm just going to show you how I'm going to prepare my pumpkin. It's a really easy, simple, unique way of roasting a pumpkin. So what I do, I wash the pumpkin, I put it on a tray, and I just put it into the oven that I preheated for about 20 minutes to 200 degrees. The sugar from the pumpkin will do the job. You can make soups, you can make mash. I use it for the filling. Now when I pull my pumpkin out of the oven and my Filo pastry is resting, the pumpkin cooked for 3 hours. And now I'm going to show you how I check it if it's ready or not. If you can run a knife through it, guarantee it's ready. So now I'm going to just show you the easy way to peel the pumpkin. So I take the top off, I run my knife through, and then just peel the skin. It will come off pretty easily. So once you peel the skin off from the pumpkin, you just disregard the seeds Now when my feta is ready out of the packet and the pumpkin is cooked, I'm just going to show you how I'm going to prepare the filling for the filo pastry. And yeah, I'm just going to start making the filling. It's very easy. Just there is no really recipe here. Just if you like more feta, you put more feta. If you like more pumpkin, you put more pumpkin. Just mash the pumpkin. Now when my pumpkin is mashed beautifully, I'm just going to add some salt and pepper. So just a table salt and cracked pepper. I just put some of the feta. I like to keep my feta cheese chunky, which I'm adding to the pumpkin mix, which already been seasoned. Now I just tasted before I assembled the pastry. That's perfect. Now when I got my packet, my filo pastry out of the packet, I always like to put a baking paper in the tray, just to prevent the pastry to stick to the tray. Now I'm going to show you how I assemble the pastry. I'm going to pull one sheet to my working bench, spread it with some melted butter. I'm going to put some of the filling, and I'm going to show you the technique of how I fold the pastry before we bake it. Up and to the left and up again. I'm just going to butter just the end. That's going to help the pastry stick. And we're going to butter the top as well. And you can come up with any sort of filling: spinach, pumpkin, meat, even seafood can work well. So just butter the top, and I like to sprinkle some sesame seeds on top. And from a packet of a filo pastry you can get many pastries. Now when my pastries are ready, I'm just gonna put them into the oven, which I preheated for 180 degrees for about 15 to 20 minutes until it's golden brown. Just keep iron it. And now your dish is ready to serve.
Allora, I can smell the beautiful crunchiness and smell of that toasted sort of filo pastry. Yummy. This is it. Now viewers, aside that it looks fantastic, I love the way that you prepared the pumpkin.
Yeah.
So now you told me that's a Jap or a Kent pumpkin,
yeah.
But you can use other things as well.
Yeah, yeah.
But the most important advice was it's got to be dry, because
Yeah.
otherwise it's going to infiltrate the pastry,
Yeah.
and then it'll make it go all soggy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you want to keep it crunchy and
Nice and crunchy. And of course the feta, which is a beautiful soft, hard, crumbly, salty
Yeah.
cheese. Once again, you can use different types of cheeses as well. That just
Yeah.
gives it a bit of a sharpness and
Yeah.
pungency, I think. So,
Yeah.
and you can use Greek feta, Danish,
Gorgonzola.
Bulgarian, gorgonzola. You can do anything.
Yeah.
So, all right, will I have a try?
Yeah,
All
sure.
right, let's have a look. Beautiful.
It's vegetarian, so.
So you know, don't you? Beautiful. And it's got the density of the pumpkin. Love it. I love it. All right. We'll go for a short break. When we come back, Eitan's going to have another recipe for us.